So the other day, I posted a comment, and the comment said, Haitians are not.
Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black. Let me ask you a question. Are Moroccans and Egyptians black? Tradition, our history, our culture are so much more different compared to these other countries that are actually black. Joshua Bill, if you're not black, what are you? I'm Somali. Let me ask you a question. If you were to see a very dark Indian man, would he be identified as a black person or just an Indian?
I say no hate to the creator, but I'm black, but you're blacker than me. I'm not sure where the confusion came from, where some Somalis believe that they're not black. And let's address the fact that he compared a few North African nations to being African but not being black. I don't want to feel like a teacher to you. I want you to do a task. I'm going to say just do your history research about how the modern North Africans became to be who they are in Africa today. I don't know if you know your history too well, but don't you know that East Africa, probably Ethiopia, I believe are one of the most oldest African black nations. I say that to say this, bro. You're black. There's just going to be different types of black in Africa, from West Africa to East Africa to South Africa and some in North Africa as well. For example, look at me. I'm West African, black, Cameroon, with blonde hair, light skin, big lips, big nose, white eyes. We're all in the same team fighting the same battle, bro. We got jollof rice and plantains. You have banana and rice. A bit different, but still in the same kind of family, right? I'm gonna lie, I didn't have to add that last part there. I felt like it was gonna be kind of funny. Follow me, guys.
Black, which is completely insane to me because black is a race and your ethnicity is where you come from. So for example, I had went to Jamaica about a month ago. I went on vacation, and while on vacation I was talking to my mother on the phone and we were speaking Creole. One of the Jamaican people who worked at the resort asked me like, hey, are you Nigerian? Like, where are you from? I said, no, I am Haitian. And you see the difference there? We are both black, right? But because I spoke another language, and he was like, oh yeah, she's not speaking patois, maybe she's from somewhere else, but we still identified that we are both black. So he asked me, where are you from? So basically he's asking me about my ethnicity. Where does my family come from? What part of the world? And I said, Haiti. We're from Haiti. I'm Haitian. So I understand and I can recognize that it's kind of different for people like black people who are born in America, because in America you're just black, and black is your ethnicity, black is your kind of African American is your ethnicity, black is your race. But it's hard for you guys to distinguish between the two because you grew up in America where black is literally like the word black is like something that's like really focused on in America. Like white people are white people, black people are black people. But in different parts of the world where we know we're black, but it's more easier to distinguish ourselves with our ethnicity. When people ask me where I come from, I'm not assuming they can't tell that I'm black. I'm assuming they want to know, why do I speak a different language? Why maybe I look a little different than the rest of them? Why maybe my last name is a little different? That's what I'm assuming. So moving forward, black is a race. Black is a shared characteristics between like people or a group of people. So your skin color, your hair type, curly hair, black skin, you are a part of a black race. But because you might be different in certain ways, for example, the language you speak, the food you eat, your culture, they want to know what your ethnicity is. Where are you from? And you would tell them, I'm Jamaican, I'm Haitian. So yeah, that's different. That's the difference. And in other parts of the world, we clearly know that we're black, but we don't characterize ourselves by our color.
My black people, please stop asking me. Stop telling me I'm African. I am not. I am Somali. That is my ethnicity. Africa is a continent. I am from the continent of Africa, but I am Somali ethnic.
This is one of those moments where if you get it, you get it. If you don't, I'm going to tell you. Once you get to this part of history, you will understand why certain people make the certain videos that they make. He said, black people, Abantu. He said, stop telling me I'm African. I am not. I am Somali. A humanoid from South Africa is South African, but they're not African. Humanoids in Egypt are Egyptian, but they're not African. Like my sis Tracy would say, when people show you their true colors, believe them. It's not just a cliche saying. It really means when they show you their true colors, as in who they really are. This is why in Somalia, I'm sure you can find documentaries where a lot of them say that they're Arab. They're also the ones who incite a lot of confusion within the black community. A lot of them will be telling us, you South Africans aren't even from the cradle of humankind, is actually in Ethiopia. Or they'll tell African Americans, you guys are not even black. You guys are like this, you guys are like that. Listen to them when they acknowledge Uguti, they are not Abantu.
Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are doing well from wherever you are watching me from. This is Eli from Africa. Feel free. Today we're gonna discuss about the identity crisis that has affected people of the black identity or people of the black race, and this is majorly affecting the Somalis, Latinos, Cuban, Dominicans, Haitians, and most recently the Latinos. Many people do not want to be associated with the black race, and they believe that in some way black race or being black or being associated or being called a black is a bad luck. And this has really affected, and we have seen the Morocco people, the Egyptian people, people from the North Africa are now refusing to be called Africans, and they want to be identified as Arabs. What's that which is driving people this crazy to say, no, we're not Africans, we're not blacks, we may be melanated, but do not associate us with black? First, I did my research and I came up with the following. And as for the Somalis being racialized as black, has significant implications, and this categorization often leads to negative outcomes in areas such as education, housing, and the criminal justice system. Young Somali men, like any other young black men globally, are over-policed and over-represented in criminal justice system. The question of whether Somalis are black is not merely an abstract debate. It has a real-world consequences, and it's for this reason the racialization of Somalis influences how they are perceived, treated, and the opportunities available to them. It is essential to recognize that racial identity is multifaceted and interest with other aspects of identity, such as culture, nationality, and religion. And that's why we are seeing so many Somalis not wanting to be associated with the blacks. And this is because their culture was stolen by those Arabs who came to Africa some years back. They spread their religion, they spread their culture, and they brainwashed them, and they manipulated them to a point where they don't want to be recognized by their own continent. Somali is a country in Africa. These Somali people who are denying to be blacks, they are black, they are melanated, and their countries in Africa give us some good reasons why you are refusing not to be an African. And as for the Dominican case, there exists of a fascinating and sometimes painful identity crisis related to their racial background. And we might explore this further. And we have the complex heritage, which Dominicans' ancestry is a blend of various heritages, including African, Amerindians, and European influences. However, the dominant narrative often obscures the African component, emphasizing Spanish roots instead. How crazy can that be? The denial of blackness is just way too far for the Dominicans. Their identifiably African features, and they're trying to reject their racial ties to being African. Very, very crazy. And instead, they embrace a narrative that emphasizes their European or Spanish heritage. This European colonized them. They made them go through a lot of things. And this denial of blackness is coping a mechanism, but it's not just coping a mechanism, but it also perpetuates erasure and prevents healing from your oppressors. They were oppressed and now they are suffering from the, how do we call it, the Stockholm syndrome. You fall for someone who has made you go through a lot. And double consciousness is also affecting the Dominicans. We might see this because they are blacks influenced by the West, by the by the Spanish people, and now they recognize the Spanish people. And both Somalis and Dominicans grapple with questions of identity, race, and belonging. Acknowledging these struggles and engaging in open dialogue can foster understanding and pave the way for more inclusive narratives. It's crucial to recognize that identity is not fixed, my guys. It evolves over time, shaped by personal experiences, historical context, and societal perceptions. So let me know of whatever you think of this video in the comment section. Thank you so much.